So today I have 7 high-paying trade jobs hardly anyone talks about. Everybody talks about plumbers, carpenters. That's what I was, a carpenter. Welders, and HVAC techs. Those are all good trades. I'm not knocking them at all. But today we're going after something a little different. We're talking about 7 highest paying trade jobs hardly anyone talks about. Not low paying jobs with a fancy label. Not side hustles that make money someday. I'm talking about real hands-on skilled trade jobs that can pay serious money because they involve responsibility, safety, technical skill, and systems that people depend on every day. So let's dive into it. Number 7, non-destructive testing technician. Pays about $77,000 a year. And this is one of those jobs most people have never even heard of, myself included. I know about testing and things of that nature. I just never investigated the fact. The idea is simple. You inspect things without destroying them. You may be checking welds, pipes, tanks, aircraft parts, bridges, pressure vessels, pipelines, or structural components. You're looking for cracks, corrosion, bad welds, weak spots, or hidden damage before something fails. And in some industry, failure is not just expensive, it can be dangerous. NDT techs may use ultrasonic testing, magnetic particle testing, dye penetrating test, radiography, visual inspection, and other methods depending on the job. You can show up in oil and gas, aerospace, manufacturing, power plants, shipyards, construction sites, and infrastructure. What makes this a strong trade is that it is technical without always being brutal on the body. You may still be on job sites. You may still be around industrial environments, but a lot of the value comes from your eye, your training, your judgment, and your documentation. Sometimes a smarter move is learning a technical trade where your patience and attention to detail become the asset. That's why NDT belongs on a real list of high-paying trade jobs hardly no one talks about. Number 6, aircraft mechanic or avionics technician, $81,000 a year. This one is serious work. Aircraft mechanics inspect, repair, and maintain aircraft engines. That's why this trade can pay well. It requires training, responsibility, and precision. You may work for airlines, repair stations, manufacturers, private aviation companies. Maybe you were always the person who wanted to know how things work. Maybe you liked engines, electronics, or mechanical troubleshooting. Maybe you want a trade that feels more technical than basic repair. This one has that. The overlooked part is that most people think of aviation as pilots and flight attendants. But behind every safe flight, there are skilled people turning wrenches, checking systems, testing electronics, and signing off on work that has to be right. That is real responsibility. And real responsibility is one reason this trade pays. Number 5, electrical power line installer and repairman. About $93,000 a year. Most people call them linemen or line workers. This is a crew that builds, maintains, and repairs the power lines that keep electricity moving. They may work on poles, towers, underground systems, storm damage, transformers, distribution lines, and transmission systems. And this job is not for everybody. You may be working outdoors in heat, cold, wind, rain, storms, and emergency conditions. You may be climbing poles, working from bucket trucks, handling high voltage systems, and responding when the power goes out. That is why the pay can be strong. It is skilled, physical, dangerous, and essential. When a storm knocks out power, people notice real fast who they need. Hospitals need power, homes need power, businesses need power, farms need power. Everything in modern life depends on electricity. This can be a strong path for someone who wants outdoor work, does not mind heights, takes safety seriously, and wants a trade with pride attached to it. It's not easy money. It is hard-earned money. Number 4, substation and relay repair. About $100,000 a year. This is one of those hidden power grid jobs that most people never think about. These workers inspect, test, repair, and maintain the electrical equipment that helps move and control power. That can include substations, relays, switches, breakers, control systems, and other utility or industrial electrical equipment. In simple terms, they keep the electrical system working behind the scenes, and that can pay very well. This is heavier electrical work. It can involve utilities, industrial sites, power facilities, and complex control equipment. This could be a good path for someone who likes electrical work but wants to move into a more technical, higher level of environment. And here's the big thing. If that equipment fails, everybody notices. That is why this trade deserves more attention. It is hidden, technical, and important. And those 3 things can add up to strong pay. Number 3, power plant operator, distributor, or dispatcher. About $140,000 a year. These are people involved in controlling and monitoring the systems that generate and distribute electricity. Power plant operators monitor equipment and controls inside power plants. Distributors and dispatchers help manage the flow of electricity across the grid. That's a lot of responsibility. This is not the kind of job where you just show up half awake and wing it. You may be monitoring gauges, control panels, alarm systems, loads, and safety procedures. You may work rotating shifts. You may work nights, weekends, or holidays because electricity does not take a day off. It may not look exciting from the outside, but inside that control room, the work matters. And if you're a person who wants a serious trade path that is not talked about as much as construction trades, this one is worth researching. Power keeps the modern world running, and the people who help control that power can be paid well for it. And at number 2, we have elevator and escalator technician, about $107,000 a year. This is a big one. Most people ride elevators all the time and never think about them. Apartment buildings, hospitals, hotels, schools, airports, parking garages, office buildings, government buildings. Elevators are everywhere, but when one breaks, everybody notices. Technicians install, repair, maintain, and inspect elevators, escalators, moving walkways, chairlifts, and other lift systems. For the right person, this can be one of the strongest skilled trades out there. If you're mechanically minded, comfortable with electrical troubleshooting, serious about safety, and willing to train properly, this trade is worth a look into. And here's why it stays overlooked. Most people do not grow up dreaming about fixing elevators. But sometimes the jobs nobody dreams about are the ones that pay because everybody needs them. That's why elevator and escalator technician belongs near the top. And at number 1, we have nuclear power reactor operator. Pays about $123,000 a year. This one is not for everybody, and it is not casual work. Nuclear power reactor operators control and monitor nuclear reactors. They adjust control rods, monitor systems, respond to alarms, follow strict procedures, and make sure the plant operates safely. That is serious responsibility. And serious responsibility is why this job can pay so well. You're not working around equipment. You're working in one of the most regulated, procedure-heavy, safety-focused environments in the country. This job requires training, licensing, testing, discipline, and the ability to stay calm and focused. It may involve shift work. It may involve high pressure. It may involve years of training and strict standards. But that is also why the pay is high. It is technical. It is serious. It is overlooked by the average person. And it is one of the highest paying trade style jobs on this list. Now here's the big point. You do not always have to chase the career everybody else is chasing. Sometimes the better opportunity is hiding in the job most people never think about. The job that keeps planes flying, the job that keeps elevators moving, the job that keeps power flowing, the job that keeps infrastructure straight, safe. There's still money and responsibility, and there is still opportunity for people willing to learn the work that others overlook. So if one of these jobs caught your attention, don't just let it pass by. Search the job title in your state. There are apprenticeship programs, union technical schools, licensing requirements, utility companies, airports, manufacturers, and training programs, and they're all looking for people. An older workforce is retiring. Start with one search, one phone call, one conversation. That is how a new path begins. So if this video helped you, hit the like button so more people can find it. And in the comments, tell me this. Which one of these high-paying trade jobs surprised you the most? I'm Fred, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.